How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some mysterious clips that can't quite be explained. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. Our first clip of the day comes from Reddit user Comfortable Cry 8097. Last week, the OP heard a strange noise inside of their house. They yelled out to see if someone had snuck in, but there was nothing there. Confused, they decided to check their Ring security feed to see if they could see anything. Take a look at what the camera captured. It's hard to see at first, but if we brighten it up a little, you can see a dark shadow that floats by at the top of frame. The eerie sighting freaked the Reddit community out, with many calling it a ghost. One commenter said the OP should thoroughly check their house for a squatter, because sometimes Ring cameras can make people look blurry due to their low compression rates. This could explain why the homeowner heard a noise and called out to see if there was anyone there. So what do you think? Are we seeing something paranormal here, or is this an intruder caught on camera? Really Haunted is a paranormal YouTube channel that we've covered a couple of times now. The homeowner, Lee, lives in a house in the UK that he believes is heavily haunted by some kind of supernatural presence. For several years now, he's been uploading evidence that seems to suggest there is indeed something haunting his home. In this clip, Lee tries an experiment to see if he can rouse any dormant spirits that might be present inside of the house. Using an Xbox Kinect camera, Lee films his living room at night time. After a short while, he begins to recite a prayer to see if this might evoke any spirits.
You'll see it flickering a lot. The Xbox One Kinect's different from
The Xbox Kinect appears to detect something in the room. We can see other figures appear and walk around the space. At one point, it looks like one of the figures reaches out towards Lee.
Come to the aid of man, whom God created.
Later, the camera seems to detect something crawling along the floor.
For the light of the world, they raised the throne.
Then something appears to sit on the sofa. So what's going on here then? Is the Xbox Kinect bugging out, or is it somehow detecting movement that we can't see with our naked eyes? Given that Lee believes his house is haunted, it's certainly strange that these figures are appearing on camera, almost as if the prayer called them to appear. One of our viewers, Danella White, shared this strange photo to our Facebook community page. White says she was taking a photo of her newly built pond in the back garden to show her father. Nothing seemed out of place at the time and she didn't think too much of it. That was until she sent the photo and took a second look. In the background, coming down the stairs to the apartment on the left there appears to be something brown hovering in mid-air. When White shared the photo, it freaked our Facebook community out. Some said it looks like the robe of a monk and couldn't quite explain why it seemed to be just hanging in mid-air. Others said it looks like an apparition of sorts. The photo was strange enough for Take a Break magazine to run a short story on it. Their editor noted that you can see blades of grass in front of the figure, meaning it must be something physically present and not something that's just been photoshopped. Ultimately though, they couldn't explain it away and was stumped by the image. White says that strange things have been happening around her house for quite a while now and wonders whether this strange appearance might be an explanation. Perhaps some kind of paranormal presence is haunting the home. I'll throw this one out to you, the viewers. What do you think this could be? I'd love to hear your theories in the comments down below. Since the beginning of civilization, humans have looked to the skies and wondered whether we're alone in the universe. Could there be other intelligent life forms out there? This curious piece of footage was shared to Reddit by user T913R. On June 22, 2022, the OP was on his brother-in-law's worksite near the Brazeau Dam in Alberta, Canada, when they noticed something strange on the horizon. Just over the tree line in the distance, you can make out several white objects moving through the air. They continue moving from right to left, but duck and swoop as they do. The objects seem to flicker or pulse in and out of view. At one point, they separate, then join back up in formation. Some fellow Redditors thought the objects might be a flock of birds. Given the distance and the compression rate of the camera, we might be interpreting the slight glow effect incorrectly. It could be just sunlight on feathers. Others weren't so sure, however, noting the size and erratic movements of the objects. Some just flat out said it could be alien craft. Without further information or additional footage, it's impossible to tell for certain what these objects could be. So for now, this will have to remain a genuine UFO sighting. This next piece of home security footage was sent to us by a user known only as Fievel Mousekewitz. It was recorded in June 2022. Take a look at what the camera in their living room has captured. Watching that again, slowed down, you can see a wisp-like shape move from right to left. Following this, all black shapes appear to float around the room as well. The OP says the white shape reminds them of a lady walking through their home. Strangely, the house is brand new and hasn't had any other occupants. However, after doing a little research, the OP discovered that the property used to be an old military camp. So what do you think? Is this just a glitch in the camera, or could it have something to do with the old military camp that once stood on the land? Share your theories with one another down below. A strange flying object spotted at the 2022 Miami Air and Sea Show has sparked a fierce debate over whether aliens already live here on Earth with us. Former NBA sports agent David Sugarman was attending the Air and Sea Show back in May when he inadvertently caught something truly strange on camera. Take a look. While filming a jet passing overhead, an unidentified object flies from the bottom of the screen upwards. In the original footage, the object is almost imperceptible. But in the slowed down version, you can clearly see an object moving through the air. Whatever it is, it looks like it comes straight out of the water. On closer inspection, the object looks like it's rotating, as you can see a white, reflective glint moving back and forth. Sugarman posted the clip to his Twitter, hoping for answers. The footage quickly got traction as hundreds of people scrambled to make sense of the bizarre flying object. Some said it could just be a bird. However, taking into account the acceleration of the jet and that the footage is slowed down, the bird would have to be moving at an incredible speed. A few people replied with footage of their own, saying that they too had recently seen similar objects flying through the sky. Take a look at this one from Twitter user 528vibes. Here you can see a similar looking object that also appears to be rotating the same way. So what has David Sugarman caught on camera at the Miami Air and Sea Show? Even with thousands of people scrutinizing the footage, the UFO is still no closer to being identified. Before we take a look at some bizarre footage that many are calling a fresh mermaid sighting, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. A viral Facebook reel has left many viewers wondering whether mermaids really do exist. This clip, which was shared by Facebook user Beth Buffy Casper, appears to show something strange swimming in the water. Take a look.
Where'd she go?
The camera holder is sitting in a kayak filming when something splashes the water. Then a striking looking tail emerges for a brief second before it splashes back down underneath the water. The bizarre footage has left hundreds of Facebook users confused and excited at the prospect of mermaids really existing. Of course, a lot of level-headed comments said it had to be a hoax and that mermaids were nothing more than a fanciful legend. Interestingly, mermaids have held a place in global mythology for centuries, appearing in ancient texts in Europe, Africa, and Asia. In 1493, Christopher Columbus claimed to have seen a mermaid during his expedition of the Caribbean. However, historians believe he may have actually just seen a manatee at a distance. During the 17th and 18th centuries, sailors, fishermen, and pirates regularly claimed to see half-fish, half-human hybrid creatures out at sea. They believed mermaid sightings were a bad omen, bringing ill fortune upon all who witnessed the mythical creatures. More modern sightings have stoked a fresh interest in these legendary beings. In 2009, in the coastal town of Kiryat Yam in Israel, dozens of people reported strange creatures leaping out of the waters of Haifa Bay. The sightings became so frequent that the local government offered a $1 million reward for proof of the existence of mermaids. Then, in 2012 in Zimbabwe, workers on two reservoirs near Gokwe and Mutare abruptly stopped working, claiming that mermaids were scaring them away from their work sites. So how is it that people from all over the world for centuries have been spotting similar-looking half-fish, half-human hybrids? Is it just a case of mistaken identity that's been perpetuated through lofty tales of myth and legend? Or is there a thread of truth running through these old folk tales? Watch the footage again and judge for yourself.
Where'd she go?
Now, if you can't get enough of the old slapped ham, then don't worry, we've got you covered. Check out that creepy video on the top there. Otherwise, we have an enormous paranormal playlist there that'll keep you entertained well into the evening, we promise. Now, remember to leave us a comment down below and hit that thumbs up button. And that's it from me. I'll see you all next time.